俺は悪い人じゃない。多分俺が欲しかったのは愛してるを聞くことだけよ。だが目が覚めた時、俺は苦しみを見えた。戦争、死、苦悶、すべてを見えた。今俺はここにいる。俺が死んでるか。いや、この場所は地獄ない。どこかな俺。
選べ。
その声は誰？
私は美徳の柱、先生。
美徳の柱か。
はい。さて、私はあなたに選択をもらいたい。
で、この選択は何だよ。
あなたは以前の人生に戻ることを選ぶかもしれません。でも、あなたの運命は変わらない。あるいは、新しい世界で生活を始めることを選択することもできます。さて、私はあなたに選択をもらいたい。
はい。選択する前に俺は質問がある。
はい。質問は何ですか？
あの子、いや、あの騎士は生きている。
はい、生きてます。
そうか。だったら決まっている。俺の選択は当然。
Troubled times, caught between confusion and pain. Distant eyes, promises we made were in vain. If you must go, I wish you love. You'll never walk alone. Take care, my love. Miss you, love. Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you how we touched and went our separate ways. If he ever hurts you, true love won't desert you. You know I still love you, though we touched and went our separate ways. Ohai Ootori! 俺はOotori Kagerouです。よろしくお願いしました。 than I thought they would be. Guys, this is too much. Thank you. We're not done yet. My old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I've walked alone on narrow streets of cobblestone, beneath the halo of a street lamp. I've turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, it split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dare disturb the sound of silence. Tell me, where do I go? Tell me, where do I take us? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safer as I dive in.
Bloodstains washing underneath the waves.
As we fall, as we fall,
I'll be reaching out to keep you safe.
as we fall, as we fall. Hi, arigatou gozaimasu. And that ends the intro concert. As I said before, I am Ootori Kagerou, or, depending on which side of the ocean you're on, Kagerou Ootori. It is a pleasure to see you all. Good lord, twice as many people as I thought would show up. So, let's get a little bit more comfortable, and we'll talk a little bit. Oh man, this is just something else entirely. Thank you. Pachi. That entire sequence was a lot harder than it might have seemed. But I'm glad that it went off well enough, and I'm more pleased that there were actually people to hear it. Not that, I needed anybody to hear it. I knew it was going to be good the whole time. Of course. Oh, man. A debut after this long. It doesn't feel like it's real. I mean, well, it's about time, of course. I recognize everybody in the chat. Good vocals for a weeb. Okay, buddy. The backing tracks could have been better, and that's absolutely true. I made those sort of last minute, but one thing that I can say about the backing tracks is that all of it is mine. I recorded all of those instruments by hand, and I just I did the best that I could, and I think if you didn't like it, you're just deaf, and that's okay. So, for those who have not been around me for the last 8 months, we'll go ahead and start with what you're looking at now. I've already given out my name, and it's printed pretty much everywhere around me. So we're going to move over here, and I'm going to introduce my 2D papa, Weedus. Oh no, the chat box is broken. Okay, we're going to have to deal with that later. This is my 2D papa. He is to be found on DeviantArt, and he puts out super awesome work. And he's very, very reasonable with not just his designs, but also his flexibility. As you can see, the character drawn here versus me is indeed the same artist, just with two very different styles. I remember as soon as I found an example of his work, I was like, this is the guy. I will not be brought back to life by anybody other than this. Of course, I say that now, but I I will go ahead and point out that you can see it there at the bottom. There is a not safe for work warning. Papa is not picky about what he draws, and he's very good at anatomy. So, be warned. The next thing we'll look at is the rest of me, even though I'm pretty comfy in this chair. So the way that we're going to do this, let's see. Here we are. It's ya boy. Also, I go by Yabai and, you know, pretty much hey you. So, over here, oh, my eyes are freaking out. I'm like really tired today. So, we already know what the top half of me looks like. Moving down, we got shortcut sleeves with the remnants of my magical sigils upon them. Naturally, of course, I ruled over the land of Altaria as a phoenix for a very, very long time. So, it's not like these symbols can just go away. I also have an axe, though this isn't exactly, you know, a warrior's weapon, but it is the guitar that you did indeed hear. And otherwise, I just like to stay comfy, you know. Thank you. Overall, I know that it's not exactly the world's most interesting design, and it's not exactly something that, you know, jumps out at you, but that's sort of the point here. I do not think that having flashing lights and all of that fancy stuff, I mean, I've had that going on for me for a very long time. As I said, being a ruler of a magical land, you tend to be surrounded in gold and silver, but these days, I find that the more mundane aspects of human life are quite refreshing. It's nice being able to go somewhere and not instantly be recognized or, you know, assassinated. I guess I owe that knight something or another. Oh dear. Well, moving on from that, I did see somebody ask if I was legal. Well, that depends on which land you're come from and what the laws are, but I guess by the human Earth standard, I am well and above the age of 18. Honestly, I've lost track of how old I am. People can just generally call me boomer and they'd mostly be correct. I've existed since, well, almost the creation of the world as all of you know it, more or less. And to that end, I've become very, very interested in your history. It's impossible for me to keep up with everything that's happened over the last, I don't know, 100,000 years, but the things that pop out to me are the way that you use fire, and perhaps I'm a little biased, perhaps I just like the colorful blossoms of explosions. But whenever I looked into the early 20s to the late 40s, I saw lots of explosions around this world, and they were fabulous. Of course, I don't condone anything such as murdering each other. That kind of goes against why I'm here. But watching your giant warships and your big planes drop shards of metal on everybody else is just the way to go. I mean, if you want to talk about efficiency, I'm impressed. Props to that. So, I think the way that I decided to handle all of this is just take a back seat. I was a ruler, and now I just want to see what you humans do with your own inventions. Let's go back to the bedroom. That way we can actually see the chat box. Yes, and someone did point out Ootori. He is my secretary, and he basically handles all of the busy work that I don't really care to deal with. He is also the producer of a lot of the songs that you've heard, so if it sucks, it is his fault. I'm just the talent here, naturally. And he will serve as our little punching bag. You want to bring us to the bedroom, don't you? Well, it's more or less whatever I want to do. I know you're going to follow along. Naturally, it's what anybody would do. I mean, otherwise, we're gonna have a bit of a problem. So let's not do that. The other things I'm interested in are gaming. I find that it's a great way to pass the time. I mean, when you live forever, time really stops mattering. So I do play a lot of RPGs and gacha games, since the grind is more or less indefinite, just like me. I've been really into Genshin Impact, Final Fantasy XIV, to name a few, as well as Azure Lane, and World of Warships. So, I mean, it's generally just nice, relaxing things. Though I do play League of Legends here and there. And of course, I'm the best player there is. I just choose to pull back for everybody else's sake. I can't have the NALCS be calling me. Stayed up for till 5 a.m. for this? You've made the right choice. I mean, I am your guardian protector, and really the only one that matters. So, moving on from this. The things that you can expect from my stream are more or less anything that your mortal desires could possibly imagine. Though, in the event that your imagination is really, really bad, which is okay, it happens. Not everybody's born like me. I will do a lot of talking streams. I'm sure everybody has questions for me. Why wouldn't they? You guys are lining up to listen to me, and that's okay. I also intend to do a lot of singing streams, because I am the talent, and Ootori here better step up his game. I do take requests, and by me, I mean him. Whether or not they'll actually be done is a little dubious, of course, since Ootori here is but a fleeting mortal with a fragment of my power. I can only do so much. I also have themed streams, and as you will see here on my schedule, we have a few streams planned ahead, which there's actually a surprise stream not listed here. And in the event that you don't end up watching this debut, or you had to leave early because you're, a moron or something, I will be reposting this on both Discord and Twitter, so be sure to pay attention to those too. So as you can see, within, a little less than a week, I'm looking at a Music Monday, which is where we will talk about music. You can send me songs to listen to, or you can ask me about songs that I quite like, and I'll break them down from a perspective of a performer and, other such things. Such as the way that the instruments work well together, any harmonies that I happen to notice. More or less just a bunch of music nerdy talk. Tabletop Tuesday is, as you might imagine, a day of streaming dedicated to tabletop role-playing games, which is a highly... yes, BU. I appreciate your concern for me, but I'm sure you have to do a lot of work in your mortal office. I'll forgive you later. But yes, Tabletop Role-Playing Game Tuesday is all about TTRPGs, and for that particular Tuesday, I will be focusing on D&D 5th edition. For those who are unfamiliar, it's basically the most popular way to play D&D, and I will be talking about the rules and mechanics and basically how to get started. We'll probably start with we'll likely move on from there to classes and how to flavor things. And then I will be very, very excited to reveal a campaign that I intend on running with a few lucky players. Some of them might be in the chat right now. I wonder who they could be. Do kana. Moving on from that. Not listed on the schedule is Waifu Wednesday. Send me your waifu, and I will rate them, because, of course, having been around for all eternity, I know what's good, and I know what isn't good. My opinions are correct, and everybody else's isn't. So you can send me your waifu. We'll talk about them. Their good points, the not so good points. Or we'll just use that day to talk about anime in general. Anime, much like video games, are a great way to pass the time. And I really, really like sort of, well, I guess you could say reliving my former glories. After that, we have Therapy Thursday. Now, this is a little less of a joke. I've watched over humanity for a very long time, and I realized that if you put two mortals in a room, they will find a way and a reason to kill each other. So I think that something like a Therapy Thursday is a way for you to just vent. Get your mind off of things. Be it sending concerns and questions through my marshmallow or curious cat, or even just typing it out in the chat, what your concerns may or may not be, and I'll be happy to talk through them. I myself will likely be using these days to sort of, well, yell at the non-existent wall, as it were. Lastly, we have Free Chat Friday. I have a few plans for what I'd like to do on Friday, but until I can get a PC that won't overheat due to the proximity of, well, me. He's the imposter. That was pretty good. But because my PC overheats quite often, I would like to do Fan Game Friday, but gaming is a little difficult to do on stream. So for now, it'll be a free chat. And that wraps it up for the current weekly schedule. I will be posting these once a week every Sunday, so be aware for that. Waifu Wednesday will be a bloodbath, so that's some good content. Of course it is. And, actually, speaking of bloodbaths, many of you who are part of my Discord could probably notice that under the special channels category, I have a debate chat. Unlike a lot of streams, I do not think it is a bad thing to discuss religion and politics in the stream. I think that they are a very important part of mortal society. And as far as religion is concerned, I'm actually pretty interested in sort of the history and mythological aspects of faith, since, you know, I'm the living manifestation of one. But, that said, I do expect all of you to behave in, you know, a more or less appropriate manner. If somebody disagrees with you, you can leave it at that. You don't have to win the argument. I'd like to keep these sort of laid-back rules as they are, but if things end up getting out of hand, then shogunai na. I have no problems casting various users and whole Discord chats into an inferno. It's not that hard. So let's behave. And that about wraps it up for the schedule. Now, on Twitter, I had put out a poll asking what you guys would be most interested in doing during this debut stream. And we ended up tying between a meme review versus a karaoke with viewers. Now, I checked out some of the memes that we would be looking at ahead of time, and they weren't very good. They were, as you might say, not poggers. So, that's off the table. Then I thought about, well, what about the karaoke? Well, I thought about that, and then a lot of you joined pretty much all at once. So then I thought, okay, that's going to be obnoxious and very difficult to organize. So what I'm instead going to do is we're going to cut the debut a little bit shorter than I thought. I originally planned it to be no more than 45 minutes, but I am a-okay stopping it at about 35 minutes. And right on cue, we are going to move into the last part of the stream. I have a special song prepared. It's one that I have sung before, and it is not the one that most of you will think of. Johnny, I'm specifically looking at you. So, we'll go ahead and cut the BGM. Where did you go? There we are. We'll grab one of these boys. We'll grab this guy. Then we will begin.思い出していたのはまた家族のことかげろうはお兄ちゃんだからみんなのことをよろしくねレンガの壁小さな家の中でひそひそ話そう秘密の作戦みたいに連れてこられた三人の真っ赤な目には大人に隠してた過去がある怯えた顔で僕は化け物だから私を告げるそんなことはないよって真っ赤は色は主人公の色だから怯えたいなくてもいいんだよ面白いことを悩んでは今日もにちゃんぶってほら見ていて赤いマフラー巻きつけた秘密組織みたい茜色染めて始めよう小さなヒーローのふりだけど少しでもまた笑えたらって今日も家族でいよう幸せを願おう先にある未来がどれだけ悲しくてもこのことは秘密だよ楽しくて日が沈んだカゲロウの幸福理論春風巡り大人になった世界は理不尽に曲がる誰かの陰謀みたいに膨らんで消えた愛する人の涙は誰も気づけなくて黒くなる狂い出していた気づいたらもう誰にも言えなくてやだやだよ壊れるのは幸せの終わる世界が来る茜色お願いこれ以上誰かの未来を壊さないで泣きながらまた考える笑顔に隠したまま茜色それが私なら誰かの未来を救えるかな不器用で情けない一人ぼっちの作戦だ が消えたあの日の秘密葬式はちゃんと笑って暮らせているのかなきっと私は怒られちゃうなんだけどちゃんとお兄ちゃんになれたかな思い出してみようあの好きだった言葉幸せってなんだか不思議明日のことを好きになれるありがとうございました That song was Ayano no Kofuku Riron, or Ayano's Theory of Happiness. With that, I will be ending the stream. Thank you all so much for coming to this debut. If I can speak a little bit out of my comfort zone, I expected 5. 5 was the number I told myself that I would end up with. Oh, let me take away the microphone. This is nuts. This is definitely the most successful thing that I've ever done in my whole life, which my life has lasted for a super long time. So, you know, when you think about it from that perspective, it's really, really amazing. I definitely want to give a few shout outs, most notably to Minarai Uehasu, even though she is not here. Both her and her server, which includes a vast majority of the people in chat, have helped immensely to set things up, to get things put together, and more or less to just get me on the right track. I wouldn't be totally lost without all of those. So big pogs to the Uehasu server. And more specifically, I gotta give a shout out to my boy Wim, who's also the mod in the chat because he's a mod everywhere. He debuted way before me, and if you guys haven't already, you gotta check out his channel. His model looks so clean, it's so legit, and he's vibing the most. He's solid. He's solid. So if you're not subscribed to him, go ahead and do so now. Next on the list needs to be the wonderful people from Taicho's Discord server. Well, I say from, but the reality is that all of you are your own VTubers in your own right. That includes Miyu, who many of you saw. She streams on Twitch, as well as Carrot and Jupiter. Carrot hasn't quite debuted yet, but Jupiter has, and she's awesome. Also, extremely poggers. All of us who hang out in in Taicho's server, man, I was really, really nervous up until this point. And I spent basically the whole week in that Discord server trying to relax, and I think the positive atmosphere that everybody gave me is what allowed this to happen. And by extension, huge thanks to October Lights. I mentioned it in the Discord, but October Lights is Jupiter Chan's mama, and she and I have been talking. So we'll, new model reveal, maybe at 100 subs. Just saying. Vivi, yes, of course, I will notice you, Vivi-chan. Thank you all for the very kind and supportive words. I will take a little bit of a rest after I end the stream, and then I have a surprise collab with a lot of the individuals that I mentioned. I'm not quite sure what exactly it is we're doing, but we're gonna be doing something. And it'll be the very first stream I actually do with other people now that I've debuted. So, big excite for that. I assume we're going to be playing Minecraft. I think that's what's going to happen. I'll need somebody to confirm that for me. What if I be? Amon. Sorry, my bad. I did say everybody from Taicho's server. That includes you. All right. That wraps it up. Once more, arigatou gozaimashita. I dug his, but my, I can't bend my head that low. I would hit the desk and the microphone. それで we're going to do a little bit of a tradition. You might have heard that I started the opening act with Ootori, and we will be ending the stream with Otsu Kagerou. So, on 3, or rather, at once, we're going to say it. So, se no Otsu Kagerou. God, that's cringy. Okay. All right, that'll be about it from me. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you soon.